not feeling great. It's just to in all honesty, not feeling great.
Why does my body have to be like this, guys? What is up, you sexy beasts? I'm just doing my daily WOD-proof mobility routine. This is supposed to be a calf stretch, but I can hardly get my knee over my toe. Hey, if you don't already have the WOD-proof app, you probably do. Everyone uses the WOD-proof app during the Open, during online competitions, and if you didn't know, the WOD-proof app has a daily mobility routine with a video and a timer. It's pretty awesome, so go check it out. I highly recommend it. I remember back in August of 2019, I saw this Under Armour commercial or video with James Newbury in it. And I was already a James Newbury fan, but after seeing that video, I was like, this is my favorite athlete right now. He's a hybrid athlete. I just love that he can do endurance events and CrossFit and just do whatever he wants. He's just so athletic. But on top of that, he just had this great message of not wanting to be remembered as a CrossFitter necessarily, but that he wants to be remembered by the impact that he had on other people's lives. And I just love that. And so he was my favorite athlete from that day on. And little did I realize that just 1 month later, September 2019, I would fly to Hawaii and I would actually meet James for the first time face to face and spark up a bit of a friendship. I remember the first time I went to Adelaide to spend time with James, how quickly I realized that he wasn't just into CrossFit, but he was into a bunch of stuff, especially business. He's an entrepreneur and he was into cars and just renovating stuff and just all sorts. And I'm sure if you follow James on Instagram, you would know that he's got his finger in a lot of pies. I've always admired James for that he's got all these things on the go, and even though some people might think, man, that's so distracting, he should be just focusing on CrossFit and doing that, but that's not James, you know. He is his happiest and his best when he's doing lots of things and when he's building things and creating things and risking things and trying new businesses, and he's always stayed true to that, and I admire that. And I think more than that, so many athletes get to the end of their careers. Not that I'm saying James is anywhere near the end, he's still got a long way to go, but a lot of athletes get to the end of their sporting careers and they've got nothing else. All they had was a sport that they're now about to leave. And it's a big issue, not only for identity, but also just financially, I guess. And that's what I love about James. I think he's really smart in the way that he's thought ahead, and that he's a businessman as well as an incredible athlete. So yesterday, James and his girlfriend Paige came and trained here at my house, and we got chatting about Torian this weekend, and I didn't realize just how unprepared James is for this coming weekend. And he was kind enough to just tell his honest truth of where he's at and why he's there. So enjoy this video. And James, you are still my champion. It doesn't matter what happens this weekend. You are still my favorite athlete, mate. So go hard this weekend, give it your all, and hopefully it turns out better than you think it's going to. All right, guys, enjoy the vid. Oh, jeez. There it is. She's a roller coaster. Oh, she's so flame. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her. She can't be tamed. I'm so in love with her. I fall and try again.
Would be like my bread and butter. Yeah. Like repeatable hard efforts at high intensity, holding like 85-90% the entire time. Yeah. Short rest, go again. Short rest, go again. Grip strength, pull-ups, assault bike. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Lightweight snatches. If there's going to be a snatch at 50, that's how I'd like it, rather than 60 or 70. Yeah. Not this time. That will crush me after probably round 2. I'll be in the hurt locker. Probably round 1.
James, for someone who hasn't been training, the rig still looks in good shape, mate.
Yeah, all show no go, I have to say. It's the loss of weight that I've just incurred. Normally sit around 88 kilos. I'm currently 84 on the dot, so It may look alright, but I'm telling you, it's got no go.
Might have to start eating meat, mate.
Okay.
I wonder if Tia can do it in 2 rounds. James, tell me honestly, no BS, like just straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart, straight shooter.
How how's the preparation for Torian been, and how are you feeling about next weekend?
You want me to be honest here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in all honesty, the prep has been non-existent. I've done maybe a dozen CrossFit sessions since Waterpalooza. I've done a little bit of running leading up to the marathon. I've done maybe half a dozen swimming sessions. I haven't ridden my bike since Geelong Ironman, and I've just come off the back of probably the worst cold or the worst flu of my life. Probably haven't had a flu since I started CrossFit back in 2011. So if I'm being honest, this is the most underprepared I've ever been. I'm going to go do my best anyway, but I'm not, I won't be breaking records, I can tell you that right now. I just did a little bit of pull-up work, a little bit of toaster bar work, some barbell cycling, a little bit of assault bike and rowing, and probably could have, in a regular workout style, maybe in 2019 or 2020, that would have been maybe all of that in total would have been part of a workout. And I feel like I've done a full day and I'm not feeling great. It's just to in all honesty, not feeling great, but I'll be there. I was okay with the fact, knowing that I was going into this season, knowing that I will train as much as I can without sacrificing working on some other things that give me just as much joy, and that's business and creating and doing that type of stuff. So I knew coming into this year I would be able to compete at an okay level. This flu kind of rocked the boat a little bit. I'd planned on doing at least a month lead up to Torian to be half decent and, you know, maybe scrape in and do a, you know, potentially a top 10. I don't think that's even on the cards now. I can't get out of gear. I can't get out of really first gear without coughing up a lung, and it's not ideal, but I guess at the end of the day, focus hasn't really been there anyway. Like, I'm not going to blame the flu on a poor performance if I have a poor performance, which, you know, in reality, like, I can't expect much more than a poor performance. But it's not, it would have been not great anyway, because I just have not done the work to deserve a good placing, in all honesty. Like, there have been years where I've done so much work and thought I deserved a better placing than what I got at the CrossFit Games. But this year, going to Torian, if I placed 25th, I pretty well deserved 25th for the amount of training I've done. Yeah. So,
like running one business, or like having one project on the go is pretty intense. How many businesses or how many projects would you say you have on the go?
well, so
And how old are you now?
I'm 31. I've got, I've always in the background, I've always got my cars on the go. Like, I've got a few cars that I'm tinkering around with. Then I've got three businesses that are about to launch, I would say, over the course of the next 6 months. And then Paige and I are also looking at some other things as well. Like, I've always been interested, and I think Paige has been as well. We've always been interested in property before we even got together. So yeah, just looking at different avenues in that path, down that path as well. We've been renovating a shipping container for quite some time. That's been put on the back burner a little bit, just with all the other things we've got going on. So, you know, we were looking at like tiny homes and things like that, and now we're kind of branching out and expanding the way we're looking at it. And probably the best thing that, you know, by flipping the shipping container and turning it into an Airbnb has got us to look a little bit deeper into all the different avenues down that path as well, which is super exciting. If I had to say, there's a handful. There's probably five things on the go that I've been working on, and Paige has just as many, if not more than me. So when there's a competition coming up like Geelong Ironman, we've made that a priority, and Paige said at the start of that, I'm prepared to put the business on the back burner to get really prepared over this next 3 months to get ready for this half Ironman, because it's something I really want to do. It's a bucket list thing. And I was all for that, and now we're just like, okay, let's try and focus on some business stuff, and now we've been all for that, and fitness hasn't been a priority. Like, yeah, probably still fitter than average, but I still feel like comparatively to where I have been, it is a long way away. Like, not even in the same game, like, in comparison. But I'm trying to come to terms with being okay with that. I think probably the biggest thing for me is everybody else not knowing that that's the case. Me going there and sucking, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's wrong with James?" It's like, well, no, nothing really. Just training hasn't been a priority.
This isn't my life anymore.
and it's not to say, like, I will continue doing competitions and things, but it's just like, it's just a priority thing, and there comes a point in time where, I get just as much of a kick out of creating a business and having that do well as I do competing and becoming really fit. I've done that for the last 12 years, and there comes a point where, there's something's got to take a preference, and at the moment it's business. So
yeah, I think it'd be super interesting to see how someone like yourself, who's done this for how long have you been CrossFitting for?
12 years.
So the cumulative effect of training for 12 years of CrossFit and feeling like you're not very fit right now, I'm interested to see how that stacks up to someone who's putting lots of pressure on themselves, been training really hard. Hopefully it doesn't turn out the way you think it's going to. Hopefully, yeah.
I hope for their sake that their leagues are far in front of me. For their sake. I think the guys that are coming through, especially in the Australian region, they're mega fit, they're super strong, they're dedicating, their entire existence to doing this thing day in, day out, morning and night. These days, if you want to do well, you want to be in the top 5 in your country, or you want to, get to the CrossFit Games and go top 3, you have to pretty much live and breathe it and do it morning and night, and have rest in between, and not letting your energy seep out into a million and one other things. You can't be rolling a full-time apprenticeship and doing it and be number 1 in the country anymore. It's not the way it kind of works. So it's got to be a full-time job, and the guys that are doing it now are doing very well, and that's what's required of them if they want to do well, and I think they understand that.
Enough about CrossFit. What's the latest tattoo?
Latest tattoo? Actually, I haven't got any for quite some time.
I haven't seen this one on your forearm. I haven't seen that one before.
No, I've had that one for a little while. Probably the latest one would be this one, I would say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's probably the latest one. But actually, you know what? This one.
Oh, the one with Khan.
Yeah, that would be my most recent.
Yeah.
But I think I want to get some of these removed and start again on some. I don't know why. I just want to start again.
I ain't giving you up, no, giving you up, no, I ain't giving you up, no, more than I'm giving you up, no, I ain't giving you up, no. She's a roller